Question 1. Which of the following is a primary benefit of cyber insurance for businesses? A. Cyber insurance helps businesses prevent all cyber attacks. B. Cyber insurance provides coverage for damages caused by natural disasters. C. Cyber insurance helps businesses recover financially after a cyber attack by covering response and recovery costs. D. Cyber insurance eliminates the need for cybersecurity measures and protocols. Answer: C. Cyber insurance helps businesses recover financially after cyber attack by covering response and recovery costs. Explanation: Cyber insurance primarily helps businesses by providing financial protection after cyber attacks, such as covering the cost of response, recovery, legal defense, and damages. It does not prevent cyber attacks. Option A. Cover natural disasters. Option B. Or eliminate the need for security protocols. Option D. In fact, insurers often require businesses to maintain strong cybersecurity measures as a prerequisite for coverage. The purpose of cyber insurance is to manage and mitigate the financial consequences of cyber incidents, not to fully eliminate risks. Question 2. Mr. Thompson, the Chief Information Officer (EO) of a mid-sized company, has just been informed about a data breach involving customer personal information. The breach was discovered by the IT team, and they have immediately started investigating the cause. What should Mr. Thompson do next to ensure compliance with Virginia's data breach notification laws? A. Notify all affected customers immediately and inform the State Attorney General. B. Conduct an internal investigation and wait until it's completed before notifying anyone. C. Notify affected customers and provide them with a free credit monitoring service only if requested. D. Notify the State Attorney General and affected customers within 30 days of discovery. Answer A. Notify all affected customers immediately and inform the State Attorney General. Explanation: Under Virginia's data breach notification laws, businesses must notify affected individuals as soon as possible, generally within a reasonable time frame, often within 30 days. They are also required to inform the state's attorney general if the breach involves more than 1,000 individuals. Delaying the notification, option B, or providing credit monitoring only upon request, option C, are not sufficient to meet the requirements. Mr. Thompson must act quickly to comply with the law and minimize potential harm to the affected individuals. In addition, businesses should ensure that their notification process is thorough, including offering credit monitoring where appropriate. Question 3. Which of the following is an example of a third-party cyber risk covered by cyber insurance? A. A company's internal network is compromised due to weak employee passwords. B. A supplier's system is breached, exposing customer data stored by the company. C. A company experiences business interruption due to a cyber attack on its own systems. D. An employee accidentally leaks sensitive customer data via email. Answer: B. A supplier's system is breached, exposing customer data stored by the company. Explanation: Third-party cyber risks involve incidents where an external party's system, such as a vendor, supplier, or service provider, causes or contributes to a data breach or cybersecurity incident affecting the insured business. In this case, if a supplier's system is breached and exposes customer data, the business may face liability for the data breach and costs associated with responding to the incident. This is typically covered under third-party liability coverage in a cyber insurance policy. The other options, A, C, D, describe risks that arise internally within the company which would not be classified as third-party risks. Question 4. Which of the following cybersecurity frameworks is commonly used for identifying, assessing, and mitigating cyber risks within an organization? A. ISO 27001. B. HIPAA. C. GDPR. D. GLBA. Answer A. ISO 27001. Explanation: ISO 27001 is an internationally recognized cybersecurity framework designed to help organizations establish, implement, maintain, and improve an information security management system (ISMS). It focuses on identifying and managing cybersecurity risks and ensuring that the organization can protect sensitive information effectively. HIPAA. B is the U.S. Health Information Privacy Law. GDPR. C is a regulation related to data protection in the EU, and GLBAD deals with financial institutions' privacy policies, none of which are comprehensive cybersecurity frameworks like ISO 27001. Question 5. Which of the following is NOT typically covered under cyber insurance policies? Business interruption coverage. A. Loss of income due to a ransomware attack. B. Costs associated with system restoration after a cyber attack. C. Financial losses caused by employees' negligence in handling data. D. Coverage for income lost during downtime caused by a system breach. Answer: C. Financial losses caused by employees' negligence in handling data. Explanation: business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy typically covers losses resulting from an inability to operate due to a cyber attack, such as lost income during downtime. D. Or costs related to system restoration after cyber attack. B. However, losses directly tied to employee negligence, C, are typically not covered under business interruption coverage, as this would fall under other forms of liability insurance or errors and omissions coverage. Ransomware attacks are specifically addressed by cyber extortion coverage. Question 6. Which of the following actions is crucial in managing third-party cyber risks for a business? A. Developing an internal cybersecurity policy. B. Establishing clear contracts and liability clauses with third-party vendors. C. Installing antivirus software on all devices. D. Conducting annual security audits for internal systems only. Answer: B. Establishing clear contracts and liability clauses with third-party vendors. Explanation: managing third-party cyber risks involves establishing strong contractual obligations with vendors, suppliers, and service providers to ensure they adhere to the company's cybersecurity standards and provide adequate protection for sensitive data. This includes specifying liability clauses for data breaches and outlining expectations for their security measures. While internal policies A and audits D are important for overall cybersecurity, they do not address the external risks associated with third-party relationships. Antivirus software C is part of internal cybersecurity but does not mitigate third-party risks. Question 7. Mr. Johnson's company has suffered a data breach where a third-party vendor's system was compromised, exposing the company's customer data. What is the FIRST action the company should take under Virginia's data breach laws? A. Notify the affected customers within 30 days. B. Report the breach to the state's attorney general. C. Conduct an internal investigation to understand the extent of the breach. D. Seek legal counsel to assess the company's potential liability. Correct answer: C. Conduct an internal investigation to understand the extent of the breach. Explanation: under Virginia's data breach laws, the first action a company must take is to conduct an internal investigation to understand the scope and extent of the breach. This investigation is critical in determining which data was compromised, how many individuals were affected, and what actions need to be taken next. Once the company has a clear understanding of the breach, it must notify affected individuals and report the incident to the state's attorney general if the breach involves over 1,000 individuals. B. Seeking legal counsel. D is also an important step but comes after the initial investigation. Question 8. Which of the following best describes a data breach under the General Data Protection Regulation GDPR? A. Unauthorized access to personal data that could result in harm to individuals. B. The deliberate destruction of company data. C. Accidental loss of company data during a system update. D. Data access granted to employees without security clearance. Answer A. Unauthorized access to personal data that could result in harm to individuals. Explanation: under the GDPR, a data breach is defined as a security incident that results in the accidental or unlawful destruction, loss, alteration, unauthorized disclosure of or access to personal data. The key point is that the breach could lead to harm to the individuals whose data is compromised. The deliberate destruction of data, B, or unauthorized access to data by employees, D, may be part of a security incident but are not covered under the definition of a breach in the context of GDPR. Accidental loss of data during updates, C, could be part of a breach if it meets the criteria of unauthorized access or disclosure. Question 9. Which of the following types of coverage would typically address the financial impact of a ransomware attack in a cyber insurance policy? A. Data breach and privacy liability coverage. B. Business interruption coverage. C. Network security liability coverage. D. Cyber extortion coverage. Answer: D. Cyber extortion coverage. Explanation: cyber extortion coverage specifically addresses the financial impact of threats such as ransomware attacks. It covers the costs associated with responding to extortion threats, including ransom payments and any necessary security measures to mitigate the attack. Data breach and privacy liability coverage. A. addresses costs related to the exposure of personal information while business interruption. B. And network security liability coverage. C. May help with the operational disruptions or legal consequences that result from a cyber attack but do not specifically address extortion threats. Question 10. What is the main goal of using a cybersecurity framework such as NIST or ISO 27001 in risk management for cyber insurance? A. To prevent all cybersecurity threats and incidents. B. To evaluate and improve an organization's cybersecurity posture and risk management processes. C. To create an insurance policy based on an organization's risk profile. D. To satisfy regulatory compliance requirements only. Answer. B. To evaluate and improve an organization's cybersecurity posture and risk management processes. Explanation. The main goal of using a cybersecurity framework like NIST or ISO 27001 is to systematically evaluate and improve an organization's cybersecurity posture and risk management practices. These frameworks help businesses identify vulnerabilities, assess risks, and implement appropriate measures to mitigate those risks. While frameworks help organizations with compliance, they are not solely focused on meeting regulatory requirements. They are also not designed to prevent all threats, or create insurance policies. Although they can inform underwriting decisions by demonstrating the organization's approach to managing cybersecurity risks. Question 11. Which of the following is most commonly included in a cyber insurance policy's network security liability coverage? A. Coverage for legal fees resulting from a breach of sensitive data. B. Coverage for reputational damage following a cyber attack. C. Coverage for damages caused by the failure of the insured to implement proper security measures. D. Coverage for the costs of monitoring credit after a data breach. Answer. C. Coverage for damages caused by the failure of the insured to implement proper security measures. Explanation. Network security liability coverage typically addresses the financial damages and liabilities resulting from a failure to maintain appropriate network security measures such as inadequate firewalls, unpatched vulnerabilities, or insufficient security protocols. This coverage helps protect against the costs arising from claims where the insured is held responsible for cyber incidents due to poor security practices. Legal fees, and credit monitoring, might be covered under different sections of the policy, such as data breach liability or crisis management, but they are not part of network security liability coverage. Reputational damage, is generally excluded or only partially covered under most policies. Question 12. What is a key element of effective risk transfer in cyber insurance? A. Ensuring that third-party vendors follow the company's internal cybersecurity policies. B. The policyholder paying for all the damages without filing a claim. C. Transferring the financial responsibility of a cyber event to another insurer. D. Shifting risk to insurance coverage by purchasing a policy that covers cyber incidents. Answer. D. Shifting risk to insurance coverage by purchasing a policy that covers cyber incidents. Explanation. Risk transfer in cyber insurance involves purchasing a policy that shifts the financial burden of a cyber incident from the policyholder to the insurer. By buying cyber insurance, the business transfers the risk of cyber threats such as data breaches, network attacks, and cyber extortion to the insurer. The other options are not focused on risk transfer. Ensuring vendors follow cybersecurity policies is part of risk management. Paying for damages without filing a claim goes against the purpose of insurance, and transferring financial responsibility to another insurer is not the typical approach for handling cyber risks in standard policies. Question 13. Which of the following is the primary reason why organizations must regularly conduct risk assessments as part of their cybersecurity strategy? A. To meet the reporting requirements of insurance providers. B. To identify and mitigate potential threats and vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. C. To reduce the number of security breaches. D. To create a comprehensive business continuity plan. Answer. B. To identify and mitigate potential threats and vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. Explanation. The primary purpose of conducting regular risk assessments is to identify potential cybersecurity threats and vulnerabilities within an organization's infrastructure and systems and take appropriate action to mitigate these risks before they can be exploited by attackers. Although risk assessments can help in meeting insurance requirements, they can contribute to business continuity. Their main goal is to reduce the exposure to cyber threats by proactively addressing security weaknesses, reducing breaches. C is a result of effective risk management, but not the sole objective of risk assessments. Question 14. Which of the following data types is most likely to be protected under cyber insurance policies? A data breach and privacy liability coverage. A. Intellectual property of the organization. B. Customers' personally identifiable information. PI. C. Operational data that is unrelated to personal information. D. Publicly available company documents. Answer. B. Customers' personally identifiable information. PI. Explanation. Data breach and privacy liability coverage typically protects against the legal liabilities and costs arising from a breach of sensitive personal data, including personally identifiable information. PI. This could include names, addresses, social security numbers, or payment card details. Intellectual property A is typically not covered under this section, and operational data C is usually not classified as personal information. Publicly available documents D are generally not considered sensitive and are not protected under this type of policy. Question 15. Which cybersecurity regulation mandates that companies provide a breach notification to affected individuals if their personal data is compromised? A. HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. B. GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. C. FISMA, Federal Information Security Modernization Act. D. GLBA, Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. Answer. B. GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. Explanation. The General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) requires organizations to notify affected individuals within 72 hours if their personal data is compromised in a breach. This includes personal data related to individuals in the EU. HIPAA and GLBAD also have breach notification requirements, but for specific types of data, such as health data and financial data, respectively. FISMA-C focuses on federal agency security practices and does not mandate breach notifications for private companies. Question 16. Mr. Lee works for a company that experienced a ransomware attack resulting in the encrypted loss of critical data. The company's cyber insurance policy includes coverage for cyber extortion. What is the first step the company should take under this coverage? A. Pay the ransom to the attacker immediately. B. Report the incident to law enforcement. C. Begin recovery of the encrypted data using backups. D. Contact the insurance provider to begin the claims process. Answer. D. Contact the insurance provider to begin the claims process. Explanation. The first step in using cyber extortion coverage is to contact the insurance provider. The insurer will guide the company through the claims process, which may include engaging with forensic investigators, law enforcement, or negotiating with the attacker. Paying the ransom should not be the first step, as it could complicate the situation and legal implications. Reporting to law enforcement B is important, but typically follows contacting the insurance provider. Data recovery C should be initiated after the claims process begins, depending on the insurer's guidelines. Question 17. Which of the following is a significant challenge for the cyber insurance industry and underwriting policies? A. Predicting the cost of a potential cyber attack using historical data. B. Estimating the financial value of intellectual property breaches. C. Understanding the cybersecurity posture of small and medium-sized businesses (SMBs). D. Determining the cost of employee negligence in data handling. Answer. C. Understanding the cybersecurity posture of small and medium-sized businesses (SMBs). Explanation. A significant challenge for cyber insurance underwriters is assessing the cybersecurity posture of small and medium-sized businesses (SMBs), which often lack the resources to implement robust cybersecurity measures. This makes it difficult to estimate the risks and tailor appropriate policies. While predicting costs, A. Estimating intellectual property breaches, B. And determining the cost of employee negligence, D. Are also challenges. Understanding the specific risk profiles of SMBs a key issue, because they often have inadequate security measures, which makes underwriting more difficult. Question 18. What is the primary role of a cyber insurance policy's media liability coverage? A. To cover losses related to the failure of business operations after a cyber attack. B. To cover reputational damage caused by the publication of false information. C. To cover legal costs related to the protection of intellectual property. D. To cover claims related to privacy violations in social media platforms. Answer. B. To cover reputational damage caused by the publication of false information. Explanation. Media liability coverage is designed to protect organizations against claims related to defamation, invasion of privacy, and intellectual property infringement that may arise from the content they publish, whether online or offline. This includes reputational damage caused by the publication of false or misleading information. It does not address business operations, or social media privacy violations, and while it may cover certain aspects of intellectual property, its focus is on media-related claims. Question 19. Which of the following is typically not covered under standard cyber insurance policies or cybersecurity measures clause? A. Firewalls and encryption technologies. B. Employee cybersecurity training programs. C. Legal costs associated with defending against a cyber attack. D. Costs related to system patching and vulnerability assessments. Answer. C. Legal costs associated with defending against a cyber attack. Explanation. A standard cyber insurance policy's cybersecurity measures clause typically covers proactive measures like firewalls, A. Encryption, A. Employee training, B. And patching vulnerability assessments, D. That prevent cyber attacks. Legal costs related to defending against a cyber attack, C. Would fall under liability or other sections of the policy such as network security liability, not the cybersecurity measures clause. Question 20. Which of the following is a primary reason for the increase in demand for cyber insurance policies? A. The rise in global cyber threats and attacks. B. The expansion of businesses into new international markets. C. The increase in regulatory fines for non-compliance with cybersecurity laws. D. The need to protect against intellectual property theft. Answer A. The rise in global cyber threats and attacks. Explanation. The increase in demand for cyber insurance policies is primarily driven by the rise in global cyber threats and attacks, including ransomware, data breaches, and sophisticated hacking attempts. As cyber attacks become more prevalent, businesses are seeking insurance to mitigate the financial impacts, while the expansion of businesses, B. Regulatory fines, C. And intellectual property theft, D. Are all factors. The primary driver remains the growing number of cyber threats and the need for businesses to manage this risk. Question 21. Which of the following is most likely to trigger the cyber extortion coverage of a cyber insurance policy? A. A data breach in which personal customer information is exposed. B. A company's server being locked down by ransomware. C. A denial of service DOS attack causing website downtime. D. The theft of intellectual property by a cyber criminal. Answer. B. A company's server being locked down by ransomware. Explanation. Cyber extortion coverage is typically triggered when a company is threatened with ransomware or another form of extortion, such as a demand for payment to unlock systems or prevent the release of sensitive data. A data breach may trigger a different type of coverage, such as data breach or privacy liability coverage. A denial of service attack, C, could lead to a business interruption claim and intellectual property theft. D is usually covered under other sections of the policy, not cyber extortion. Question 22. Which of the following actions is most critical to mitigating risks that could affect a company's ability to collect on its cyber insurance policy? A. Establishing a partnership with a cybersecurity firm. B. Installing firewalls and antivirus software. C. Ensuring the company has an up-to-date incident response plan. D. Implementing stronger passwords and user access controls. Answer. C. Ensuring the company has an up-to-date incident response plan. Explanation. An up-to-date incident response plan is crucial to mitigating risks that could prevent a company from collecting on its cyber insurance policy. This plan outlines the steps to take when an incident occurs, ensuring that the company handles the situation in a way that aligns with the requirements of the insurance policies, such as timely reporting and taking appropriate actions. While firewalls, B, antivirus software, B, and strong passwords, D, are important cybersecurity measures, having an effective incident response plan, C, is the most critical for ensuring compliance with insurance policy requirements. Question 23. Which of the following is typically excluded from cyber insurance coverage? A. Costs associated with restoring lost data. B. Legal fees for defending against a cyber attack lawsuit. C. Coverage for breaches resulting from employee negligence. D. Business interruption costs due to a cyber attack. Answer. C. Coverage for breaches resulting from employee negligence. Explanation. Most cyber insurance policies exclude coverage for breaches caused by employee negligence, particularly if the negligence is related to ignoring cybersecurity best practices such as clicking on phishing links or failing to apply security patches. Restoring lost data. A. Legal fees. B. And business interruption. D. Typically covered by various sections of the policy, depending on the specific terms and conditions. Question 24. Which of the following best describes business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy? A. Coverage for the cost of hiring new staff to handle business operations after a breach. B. Coverage for the revenue lost due to a cyber attack that disrupts normal business operations. C. Coverage for the cost of investigating and responding to a data breach. D. Coverage for reputational damage following a data breach. Answer: B. Coverage for the revenue lost due to a cyber attack that disrupts normal business operations. Explanation: Business interruption coverage under a cyber insurance policy provides compensation for the income lost during a period when normal business operations are disrupted due to a cyber attack or other covered event. This could include downtime caused by a ransomware attack or a data breach that prevents access to critical systems. Investigating a data breach. C. And reputational damage. D. Are not covered under business interruption coverage, while hiring staff. A. Is an operational cost that would not typically be reimbursed under this coverage. Question 25. Which of the following is typically not covered under cyber insurance policies? Network business interruption cause. A. Lost income due to an attack on critical network infrastructure. B. Costs related to business recovery after denial of service (DOS) attack. C. Revenue lost from the inability to process transactions due to system downtime. D. Costs of rebuilding a company's internal network security infrastructure. Answer: D. Costs of rebuilding a company's internal network security infrastructure. Explanation: Network business interruption coverage typically addresses the financial losses incurred due to downtime caused by an attack, such as lost revenue. A. Costs related to recovery from an attack. B. And the inability to process transactions. C. The costs of rebuilding the company's internal security infrastructure. D. Are generally not covered under this clause and would fall under a different part of the policy, such as network security liability or data restoration coverage. Question 26. In which of the following scenarios would a company most likely need to activate their data breach response coverage? A. An employee inadvertently sends sensitive customer data to the wrong email address. B. A hacker gains unauthorized access to the company's network and steals customer information. C. A customer complains that their personal data was improperly stored. D. The company's website is temporarily unavailable due to a cyber attack. Answer: B. A hacker gains unauthorized access to the company's network and steals customer information. Explanation: Data breach response coverage is triggered when an unauthorized individual, such as a hacker, gains access to the company's sensitive data, such as customer information. This coverage helps pay for costs like legal fees, notification costs, and credit monitoring for affected individuals. An employee sending data to the wrong email. A. May trigger other types of coverage but would not typically activate data breach response coverage. A customer complaint. C. May also not involve a breach of data security. A website downtime. D. Would likely fall under business interruption coverage, not data breach response. Question 27. What is the purpose of a cyber insurance policy's forensic investigation coverage? A. To cover the costs of hiring a third-party firm to monitor the company's cybersecurity posture. B. To cover the costs of investigating how a cyber attack occurred and determining the extent of the damage. C. To cover the costs of legal representation during a lawsuit related to a cyber attack. D. To cover the costs of recovery and restoration of damaged systems. Answer: B. To cover the costs of investigating how a cyber attack occurred and determining the extent of the damage. Explanation: Forensic investigation coverage is designed to cover the costs of hiring experts to investigate the cyber attack and determine how it happened, the extent of the damage, and whether the company's systems were compromised. This is important for identifying weaknesses, determining the cause of the breach, and aiding in recovery efforts. The other options, such as legal representation C and recovery costs D, are covered under different sections of the policy. Question 28. Which of the following is the main reason why businesses with sensitive data are advised to purchase cyber insurance? A. To ensure the business can recover from a cyber attack. B. To prevent cyber attacks from occurring in the first place. C. To comply with industry regulations requiring cybersecurity protections. D. To guarantee that cyber criminals cannot access company data. Answer A. To ensure the business can recover from a cyber attack. Explanation: the primary reason businesses with sensitive data are advised to purchase cyber insurance is to help them recover from a cyber attack by covering the costs associated with a breach, including legal fees, notification costs, and business interruption. While cyber insurance can help mitigate risk, it does not prevent cyber attacks, b. guarantee data protection, d. or fulfill compliance requirements, c. although it may aid in meeting regulatory requirements. Question 29. Which of the following best defines social engineering in the context of cybercrime and cyber insurance? A. A cyber attack that manipulates employees into revealing sensitive information. B. A cyber attack that uses phishing techniques to steal passwords. C. A form of fraud that targets businesses for financial theft. D. A malware attack that disables a company's IT infrastructure. Answer A. A cyber attack that manipulates employees into revealing sensitive information. Explanation: social engineering involves manipulating individuals into revealing confidential information, often by impersonating a trusted source or creating a sense of urgency. This can include tactics like phishing, pretexting, and baiting. Cyber insurance policies may cover losses resulting from social engineering attacks. Phishing B is a specific type of social engineering attack, while fraud C and malware attacks D are distinct categories of cybercrime. Question 30. Which of the following is a key benefit of a cyber insurance policy's crisis management coverage? A. It provides legal representation in court after a cyber attack. B. It covers the costs of public relations efforts to manage the company's reputation after a cyber incident. C. It pays for the repair or replacement of damaged equipment and hardware. D. It helps recover the stolen intellectual property from cybercriminals. Answer: B. It covers the costs of public relations efforts to manage the company's reputation after cyber incident. Explanation: crisis management coverage helps businesses handle the aftermath of a cyber attack by covering costs such as public relations efforts, media communication, and reputation management. This is critical for minimizing the reputational damage caused by an attack. Legal representation A. Repair replacement of equipment. C. And recovering stolen intellectual property D are typically covered under different parts of the policy.